Hello, and welcome to Your Better Health program, coming to you from the RWJ Fitness and Wellness Center. Hi, Alyssa. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good, Joyce. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Yeah.
So, as you know, because you've been with us through this series, Alyssa is our board-certified bariatric specialist.
Oh, good.
Right?
Yeah.
Registered dietitian, and what is my favorite one? CHEF,
Yes.
chef.
Yes.
Because you teach us all these great ways to eat, but if it's not really good,
Right.
we're not going to do it, right?
I always like to say I'm happily in debt for the rest of my life from going to culinary school.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm sure. It definitely pays off for us.
Yeah.
So welcome back. This is the last in our series. So just as a reminder, we've done breakfast, which was awesome. My favorite was the scramble.
Yeah, the tofu scramble.
Yes, love that.
was
I've
good.
made it at home a few times now.
That's awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
So then we did lunch, and that was the chickpea salad,
Yes.
which I actually did love with the dill
With the pickles.
right?
Yeah.
And we did the tacos, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I have that for lunch upstairs.
Okay, perfect. And then last week we did dinner, which was amazing. That it was tempeh with satay, right?
Yeah,
That's kind
yeah.
of fun to say.
Satay tempeh.
Yes, exactly. And the other dish was the penne
Puttanesca. Yes.
Excellent as well. So thank you so much for teaching us how to not only eat well, but to eat things that taste great and keep us interested.
It's all my pleasure. It's every day.
Okay, so we're here today. It's appetizer and dessert, and that will kind of round everything out, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So instead of doing 2 appetizers and 2 desserts, we kind of put this one together.
Right.
You know, as far as things go, once you get this one recipe down, I swear you won't need another one.
Okay, good.
It's really good.
So I'm excited. What are we doing for the appetizer?
All right. So for the appetizer, we're going to do a spinach artichoke dip,
Wow.
right?
Yes.
Every restaurant you go to, it's an appetizer on the menu.
Absolutely.
Every party you go to, it's on the spread. But what's it usually made out of?
Well, a lot of mayonnaise, right?
Yes.
And then it's always in the bread, right?
in the bread.
Stuffed in the bread
Yeah.
and with all the pieces around
Right,
it.
right. And then, you know, if you look at some of the recipes that are out there, if it's not mayonnaise, it's, you know, using heavy cream, and it's using a lot of different things that when trying to, you know, increase your plant-based foods in your diet, those things kind of clog you up.
Yes.
So with all the benefits of the fiber, you know, artichokes are fiber, spinach are fiber, but then if you have hydrogenated oils clogging you up, then the fiber can only help so much.
I think we've done a really good job in this country of destroying everything that has the possibility of being healthy.
Oh, yeah.
With all these other ingredients.
Right.
Like we feel good eating
Yeah.
spinach and artichoke dip.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that it's really very good for us at those outside venues.
Well, get ready for this recipe because
Okay.
I almost ate the entire thing when I made it.
Okay.
And there is no hesitation. And then
You have the best job in the world.
it's free to eat spinach dip. So the first thing we're going to do is take a regular old package of spinach. I got the chopped block.
Yes,
here.
this is my
Yep.
job today, right?
Yes.
Okay, here's your
She's
spinach.
a spinach handler.
Okay.
Yes. And so just want to throw that in the pot so that it can start to thaw. If you want to use the microwave to thaw it, that's absolutely fine. This stove is just very, very good. And so it's going to happen real quickly.
And you have a little water in there on the bottom.
I have a little
too.
water in there so that it'll start to break down, and we'll revisit it in a minute to see how
Okay.
much more we need to, you know, push it around. But so spinach artichoke dip, spinach, done. If we wanted to use the bag, like cut leaves,
Right.
with the whole leaves, the reason I'm not using the whole leaves is because when you cook them, sometimes the leaves are so long that if you had one of those in your dip, it's slap you in the face.
messy.
Right. So although the block is a little bit more daunting to thaw, it's worth it in the long run.
Got it. Yes,
Yeah.
that makes sense to me.
Yes. So, of course, second ingredient being artichokes.
Of course.
I have some fresh ones from the garden.
No, you don't.
So I got these here.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, cento.
And it's just the hearts, right?
Yes, this is the hearts. Usually I would get the artichoke quarters because that's already one step done. But what I did was, because there's not a lot of sodium in this can, but there is some, I still, take it over to the sink, drain it, rinse it off, and make
Okay.
sure I've got like a, just clean old artichokes here that don't have any oil. The marinated artichokes you want to kind of stay away
Yeah,
from.
definitely.
Because they already put a bunch of stuff in there.
Okay.
Yes. So because I didn't find the quartered artichoke hearts, I thought I'd show you the whole ones.
Yeah,
So
they look great.
have you ever cooked an artichoke from,
Well, I have
yeah?
in some broth.
How'd
right?
it go?
It went okay, and you dip the leaves, right?
Right.
I've never stuffed one. I've always wondered what that would be like because I know
Yeah.
that's a popular recipe.
That sounds good. I'm not very familiar with artichokes myself.
Okay.
I actually I've only put them in a pot with water, steamed it,
Right.
and then ate the petals.
Yes.
But I know that there's like the stuffed ones, like you said, and it all works with that like good Mediterranean food
Oh,
profile,
totally.
like roasted red peppers
Right.
and sun-dried tomatoes and anything that has those flavors. I'm a big fan. If you didn't notice because of the puttanesca.
Totally did notice. So artichokes also, I just really eat the leaves to get to the heart, don't most people?
Yes. The leaves are, there's some meat that's on the lower part of it. And so
Yes.
that's why it's fun to like dip and like to kind of scrape it off with your teeth like an animal.
Okay.
and then the actual like center, the artichoke heart is just so delicious.
It is delicious. And is it
It's-
nutritious?
It's very nutritious, yeah.
Okay.
So when we're looking at the different types of fiber in the diet, I always talk about soluble and
Right.
insoluble fiber. Insoluble being leaves and bran and things like that.
Right.
And soluble being the goopy kind that can help to build a good gut microbiome and all
Okay.
that good tummy stuff. So artichokes have both.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yes, so the leaves are going to give you some of that insoluble, whereas this nice squishy little bit there, it's an excellent source of soluble fiber. Have you ever heard of a sunchoke
No.
or
What's that?
Jerusalem artichoke?
No.
It's another vegetable that you can sometimes find, and they're pretty good, and they oftentimes are celebrated for their soluble fiber content too.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you ever see Jerusalem artichoke, it's just a different thing. Whereas this one, it's what you're getting into. The Jerusalem artichoke, it was good, but I prefer this one. So
I like that you've really taught me that canned is okay.
yeah,
I'm always thought that we really needed to do fresh, or then the second choice would be frozen, right?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
may still be the case, but
yeah, and there are frozen artichoke hearts. I've seen
Yes,
them on
I have
some
too.
recipes, and I saw it at the store the other day. So I'm sure that using the frozen artichoke hearts would be an excellent alternative
Okay.
to using the canned if you didn't have that available, or if you're trying to really slash out sodium and try
Right.
not let a little bit come in. But we got a little bit here. We're not going to add salt to the recipe at all.
Okay, good.
Because there's all this coming from the brininess of
Right.
the artichoke. So it comes out quite good. If you need to add a little salt at the end, we'll add it. But,
Okay.
you can always add but can never take away.
That's for sure.
Yes.
So this is still pretty
All right, we're going to have to pump it up.
Okay, so we're going to pump that up and keep moving, right?
Yes.
So even in a can, you're still getting the nutrition.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Still getting the good nutrition. So for this recipe, I'm going to just take these artichoke hearts. I chopped them all up, and I'm going to put them in my, it's a pie, not a pie pan, it's a cake pan.
Okay.
I'm using a
yeah.
cake pan, yeah. So if you want, you could spray it with oil, but we got a nice like non-stick one here. So just going to fill her up. And then things aren't going to really stick too much because it's the browning on the outside that gets coagulated that's really good in the spinach dip.
That's awesome.
Yeah. To be honest, I never had real spinach dip before.
You never have had it?
No.
Wow.
No.
All right, so I'm sure you wouldn't like it.
I don't know, 10 years allergic to milk. I've missed a lot of
You
things.
have missed
Yeah.
it. I think I grew up eating spinach dip at every celebration we went to, and we usually had to make it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I think my mom was just a ranch lady.
yeah, there you go.
But, doing these different types of dips, it's great because you're sneaking in, again, more of the vegetables.
Right.
And then you get to eat dip and go, this is nutritious.
Right.
Instead of like, oh, I should only have, 2 tablespoons or whatever, all those diet rules that exist out there. So we get to kind of...
No fun.
Yeah, they're no fun. So we get to stay a little bit away from that.
And today, I guess we should mention, we are steering away from the bread.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes. So usually it's served with sourdough bread.
Yes.
Right? Yes. So in lieu of using sourdough bread, we're going to actually use a variety of different vegetables, and it's delicious. Don't knock it till you try it. So, my boyfriend was like, "What are you talking about? Celery with spinach dip?" But it's very good.
He liked it, right?
He liked it. Yep.
Did he eat it with the vegetables or just the bread?
He ended up eating it a lot with the cauliflower and broccoli, a couple of carrots,
Okay,
so
sneaking it in
there. I think that out of, consistency purposes and familiarity, of course, if you find a bread that's high in fiber, like a really good, hearty, whole grain, if you look at the label and it says more than, it either says 3 or more grams of fiber per serving.
Okay.
That's a bread that I would consider to be a better option than, your others.
So are those automatically, I should step back a second because I know you've taught me there's a lot of sugar in bread.
Yeah.
So the ones with the higher fiber, do they automatically have less sugar or do you kind of have to watch that too?
You gotta look.
Okay.
Yeah, they can definitely put slam in 10 grams of fiber, but then also get in, 11 grams of sugar.
It's kind of like the mayonnaise with the artichokes and spinach.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
It was, and it is inherently a nutritious thing.
Absolutely.
But with food processing and, the way things are to make things consistent and all that stuff, it's, they've taken something and made it a little bit not too great. But and sodium too. That's one thing that surprises me and upsets me is that there's a lot of sodium in a lot of breads that are pre-made.
Yeah, and I know our docs tell us a lot about not eating too much salt,
Yeah.
right? I think everybody really knows that.
Right, so people avoid typically bread because of its carbohydrate content, but it's really not that's the issue. It's, the other issues being the sodium and the excess sugar.
Okay, so we need to watch and try to get more of a balanced bread.
Or if you bake your own bread, I mean, that's...
Okay, let's not get crazy, Alyssa. Really?
I can't say that I've done a really good job at that. I've tried. I've tried before, but it just, I like to buy. I got this sourdough gluten-free bread that has about 4 grams of fiber per serving.
Okay.
So we were able to, have that in a few slices. Otherwise, if you do need something kind of crunchy or bread-like.
Yes, and I love all the things you chose.
I found some crackers. That are whole grain as well.
Nice. We like that whole grain.
When looking at any type of product, again, I want to look at the label and check nice solid 2 grams of fiber there, and we have just 1 gram. Sodium is 50, which is very low for a cracker. Hard to find a cracker that's not 400.
Well, anything that's a box. Right?
Yeah.
That's a pre-made something seems to always have a lot of extra sodium.
Yes, definitely.
I just want you to know I'm doing a really exceptional job here with this spinach.
Yeah, I knew you would.
Almost done.
I knew you would.
It was way better than mashing chickpeas, but
I was
who's talking about that?
I was like, this job is perfect for Joyce today.
Thank you. I appreciate your confidence in me. Okay, I think we're just about there.
All right. While that's finishing, I'm going to get the sauce together.
And I'm going to drain the spinach.
Get the water out. Yeah, any excess water, just squeeze it out there.
You got it.
And so for the sauce that we're going to do that's going to make the base of the spinach dip, we're just going to use cannellini beans. They're my favorite beans to use, Joyce. Because when it comes to white beans, there are navy beans and there are great northern beans. And oftentimes they have a thicker outside. They have a thicker skin.
Right, they do.
Yes. But the cannellini beans actually they're really buttery and soft. So I love using them and taking advantage of them for doing like creamy soups or anything creamy or cheesy, but also making it more nutritious with giving it some fiber and protein.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you think I got enough of the water out? What do you think?
Yep. If you gave it a good squish, the best you could do is the best we got.
Okay, good.
Yeah, always.
I know I'm going to be judged, so I'm trying to make sure here. Okay, just spread it over the top?
Yep, we just put it in there. You know, it's hot, so we'll wait until it cools down a little bit. And, you know, I'll continue with the sauce. The only other couple ingredients in this is coconut milk. And it's not the canned one like last time. Last time I used the canned coconut milk.
So what's the difference? Why?
So this coconut milk has been manufactured more so for the purpose of being a substitute to dairy milk. Like if you were going to have milk in your cereal, like a good old fashioned American, part of a balanced breakfast. When folks are starting to like steer away from using different dairy products and trying to look for alternatives, they have, the almond milk. Rice milk was the first one. It wasn't good.
I never tried
Rice
that.
milk was terrible. And then there's soy milk.
Yes.
And so now that, technology's progressing and we live in the future, they've milked almost everything at this point. And so
I never really understood how they got milk out of almonds, but I guess that's another program.
Well, oh, yeah. That would be fun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So in this case, I just got the coconut milk, and they just it's coconut meat. They puree with water, and then they strain it out.
So it's not the same consistency as the canned milk?
Right. The canned milk is almost like it's the entire coconut with the meat and the water and everything blended and put into the can. So that's why that one has a higher saturated fat content.
Okay.
So you can tell that one is like a little better for things like curries and sauces, whereas something like this is better for things like mashed potatoes, cream soups.
Good to know.
And now spinach dip.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So I like this one, unflavored, unsweetened, and it doesn't taste like coconut either.
It doesn't?
We're stealing its creaminess, but we're not getting its specific flavor. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just putting a cup of the coconut milk. If you wanted, you could use like unsweetened soy milk or almond milk, but I have to say I've tried something like this with almond milk, and I've tasted it.
Okay.
I don't want. I've tried it, so you don't have to.
Okay, good, because you don't really want to taste that.
Yeah. And then this next ingredient, I'm very excited to show everybody, is our, in our last, series of this program, we went over tofu.
Yes.
We went over tempeh. And now I'm going to go over another new ingredient that's specifically found in plant-based diets called nutritional yeast.
Love it.
Yeah. So nutritional yeast, you could find it at most supermarkets, right kind of where the health food stores starts, where the floor turns brown and they start to advertise like happy cows. That's where you might find it.
Okay.
Alongside with the spices.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah. And then recently I found it at Wegmans in the pharmacy aisle in
That's
a giant tub for like $7.
Wow.
Yes. So, I mean, one of these is like $6.
Yes.
So, depending on your health food stores,
Love that.
what they have, you can sometimes find it because it's technically a nutritional supplement.
Why? How?
Because it's the only way that a lot of folks in a plant-based diet can get vitamin B12.
Okay.
And that's
an important one.
Extremely important. Vitamin B12 helps with all of our cellular mechanisms, and we need to have the energy in order to make anything happen in our bodies. If we want to improve our blood sugar, our cholesterol, any of that, our body needs the energy to do it. And so the B vitamins, it's like the light bulb. It's like the current. So B12, it used to come in nature because it used to be on the outside of fruits and vegetables because it's from like bacteria.
Okay.
But with the way food is manufactured this day and the way the soil is, there's no longer as much of a traceable content of B12. And so that's why when people say, oh, plant-based diet, you can't get everything you need.
Right.
They're right.
Okay.
But
we can still get it in a natural, kind of healthy form, right?
Exactly. So
that's what we're going for.
Yeah, there's a natural, healthy form, and it smells like cheese.
It does. Yum.
Yes.
I think we used a little bit of that in the tofu scramble.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I think so.
I think so.
So it has that cheesy taste, and it also, other than the B12, contributes a significant amount of protein, which I didn't realize until recently.
Okay.
3 tablespoons had 8 grams.
Holy cow, that's a lot.
So I'm not adding it for its protein, but it's not
a benefit.
It's not hurting, yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna do.
How much are you doing in there?
I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons.
Oh, good. That's a good amount.
Yeah, I don't want to. Some of the recipes that I've seen called for like a quarter cup and like.
Right.
You don't want to use too much of this. It'll last a long time.
Okay.
But we've had this one for quite a while. And now the other ingredient that I'm going to put in there that is essential.
Always.
Garlic.
Always.
More garlic.
Absolutely.
So I was looking for different ways to get garlic at the store. Of course, there's garlic bulbs. But then I walked past the produce aisle and saw this packet of peeled garlic
Oh my
cloves. So I don't have to smash it.
Yes. We
Take
like the shortcuts.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, if I could put all this garlic in there, but probably, we'll save some of it for later.
Okay.
But I just want about 2 cloves of garlic. So
Okay.
I could either use this or I could use the minced, like the already
Yes.
cut. I was thinking about getting that as well. So, but I want to get the
I like that
cloves.
packaging. It makes it so easy.
Yeah. And if you wanted, you could put, you could put the whole thing in the freezer and take it out like the day before,
yeah.
like you would, like
Like
chicken
one
or
pack at
something.
a time, right?
Yep. So I'm going to take 2 big ones. Well, big one and a medium one.
Okay.
I could put 3, but I'm going to keep it calm here.
Okay.
Don't want, we still have work day after this.
Yes, we do.
All right. So I got this nice Ninja blender.
Yeah, those are great.
Yes, we got.
What are you going to do it on?
I'm going to hit power, and then I'm going to do low, and then I'm going to build it up to high.
Okay.
Yeah, not something you have to do necessarily, but I've been learning this blender's characteristics. At
Okay.
your home, your oven might be a little bit different, your stove might be a little bit different, your blender might be a little bit different.
So it has its own personality.
It has its own personality, and this
Okay,
one
good.
likes to go slow. It doesn't like to go right immediately.
Okay.
Of course, learned that the hard way.
Does all the hard work for you.
I couldn't.
Right?
Hooray! And
Yeah,
you don't
that's
have
great.
a high-speed blender at home, even a regular old blender. I made it at home with a magic bullet.
Okay.
So
it works.
this is just a really great opportunity that we have in this
Yes.
teaching kitchen, that we have this really great blender. Okay, so here's when the magic happens.
Okay.
We've got our spinach, we've got our artichokes, and this is our liaison.
Okay.
And it almost looks like a quiche.
It does.
Yeah. And I'm always worried, is that too much beans? Is it too much coconut milk? But it ends up being almost exactly the right amount for the size of a cake pan in particular.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm just going to give everything a nice little fold in here so it gets mixed. Because I don't want a quiche, although that would probably be pretty good too.
That would be a good quiche.
Well, we're here for spinach dip.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
It smells great.
Yes. That's the garlic.
I know. So that was probably plenty of garlic because I can really smell it.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been illegal if I put in 3 cloves. I'd go to jail.
So now we're going to cook this?
Yes, so I have the oven on at 425.
Okay.
Actually, 425. Nice hot temperature because we don't really need to cook per se anything in this because it's just beans. But we do want the top to get nice and brown and crunchy. And we want it to be heated throughout.
Got it. Yes.
So the oven really is an important step here. I mean, no one will stop you from eating it like this.
Really?
Oh, yeah. But we're
She's trying to see if I'm brave enough.
we're gonna put it in the oven for a little bit. Let's
Yeah, I'm going to vote for the oven.
we'll cool down some of the garlic in there so it doesn't
Okay.
catch our mouths, make them spicy. And then the only thing I like to do is little paprika on top.
Oh, yes.
That gives it that nice color.
Beautiful.
And then we have our beautiful
It
spinach
looks
dip
great.
ready for the
Yes.
oven. Yes.
And you said 20 minutes?
20 minutes on 425. And we'll
Easy
check
enough.
it then. Yeah.
So simple.
Yeah, and if we want to make it browner later, we could just put the broiler on and crisp
Okay.
it up. But
Good to know.
there we go.
All right. So we're off to the oven. So while Alyssa's setting the timer, she mentioned that we're here in this teaching kitchen. That's one of the things that I love about being here at the Fitness and Wellness Center in Hamilton is our cooking kitchen, because we get so many opportunities to work with our community and teach adults, kids, whoever's interested in learning the information about having how to live a little healthier and eat healthier. So it's
Yeah.
awesome to be here.
It's amazing to have these teaching kitchens. It's
Absolutely.
really, really important. Schools should have them. Hospital systems
right.
should have them, because if we don't know how to eat, we continue to get these
Sick.
same diseases.
Right.
Yes, yes. And out there in the world, the restaurant industry, they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't quite have as
No.
much concern over it. It's getting a little better these days. I think there's some more
I kind of feel like that too.
awareness. You can see some restaurants are having some, more like lighter options.
Yes.
Things that are plant-based, things that have no added salt. So they know that the people who are healthy eaters are coming out from the woodwork.
Right.
Because it's not just for granola munchers.
No, not at all.
Back in the day.
For lifers.
Yes, exactly. My mom, when she was a kid, she told me that like doing healthy stuff like brown bread and granola and all that stuff, was pretty much like a weird thing to do.
Wow.
Because at that time, we had all these processed foods, Wonder Bread, all that good stuff. So if you brought in some of the brown stuff, people would look at you a little bit differently.
Right.
But now,
Very
now it's
interesting.
celebrated.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. So they are putting other options on menus, which is great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and this is such a great facility because we're in a building that's over 80,000 square feet. Half of it, or a little more than half, is dedicated to fitness, which is all medically based. So it really goes hand in hand with
Yeah.
what we do here.
Yeah, have the exercise, the diets,
Right.
and kind of. Of course, we have support groups there, so we get some of the
Yes.
the mental health stuff components. We try to make sure that there's options available here at the center for sure.
Well, and for the program I run, the Better Health program is complimentary to anyone 65 or older. So we've really dedicated a whole program and with a geriatrician to our aging population so that they can live their best life and learn how to do some of these things that will help them.
Yes.
We want to keep them healthy and at home forever, right?
Yes, healthy
That's
and at
the goal.
home. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now talk to me about dessert.
All right, dessert. So
It's not a meal without dessert, right?
not at all. I mean,
Okay.
I love dessert. I really do. I have a sweet tooth. I think that, I'm a big fan of all things chocolate, all things salted caramel, all things
Oh, yeah.
all things strawberry. So I want to sometimes use that to my advantage as far as eating more healthfully.
Okay.
So I have this one recipe, and I've seen it done before on different YouTube videos and stuff. But what it is, it's called banana nice cream.
Okay, banana nice cream.
Right.
Okay, I like that.
It's nice.
Right.
It's nice.
Yeah.
But the thing with the banana nice cream is that guess what the ingredients are?
Bananas.
That's it.
That's it,
That's
right?
it. And I feel almost bad because it's barely a recipe, but once you see it get put together,
Okay.
You're going to feel more confident in doing it at home because, sometimes if you don't feel like eating a big meal, if you don't feel like doing a big thing for breakfast, if you feel like doing the bowl of ice cream for dessert, this is 2 buzzes away. You're
Wow,
2
that's
buzzes away
great.
from additional 2 or 3 servings of fruit in your diet that day.
That's great.
And every additional serving of fruit in your diet per day increases your longevity.
Wow.
Yes.
You make it sound so simple.
Oh, just having these resources has been really helpful.
So I did notice you grabbed stuff from the freezer.
Yes.
Okay, tell us.
So I have some, these are the bananas I got here.
Okay.
You know when your bananas look like this?
Yes.
They go
perfect time.
Yes, this is a perfect time. So if I had a banana like this and I want to use it for smoothies, I usually just peel it off and break it into 2 pieces.
Okay.
And then put it in a Ziploc bag. Boop. And then I'll keep the Ziploc bag in my freezer.
Yes, that's
so
perfect.
I always put them in batches of 2.
Right.
Because if I have like 4 bananas in one bag, then I'm going to have to make a lot of the ice cream. And if I just want some in this way, I can use it for a smoothie too.
That's great.
Yeah, so I slice it in half so it's a little bit easier for the blender. Sometimes people will cut it into little slices as well and freeze it overnight. So this banana is not quite as brown, but it's still a banana. So another way that folks might do this at home is that they make like coins.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's almost like little banana ice cubes.
Right.
And then I put them on a sheet pan individually, like kind of separated so that they don't stick together. And then you keep them in the freezer for a few hours until they get nice and hard. And then once they're hard, you can put them in the bag.
Got it. That's a great idea. I like that.
So, well, maybe we'll have time to see how these things turn out.
We'll see. So I know the brown banana is really, really sweet, right?
Yes.
It's like the best time to use it. So that's a great thing to do with your old bananas is freeze them, because I know I always end up with bananas left at the end of the week.
Always, yeah.
Right?
And they're always brown, and you're like, eating them just kind of feels too sweet. But it doesn't make it less nutritious. I think a lot
That's a good point.
Although it's becoming sweeter, the starches are turning into sugars. They're going to do that in your body anyway.
Got it.
So whatever your preferred taste is for the banana, whether it's greener or browner, you go for what you like.
So it doesn't have more in it when it's
right.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. So it's just its benefits are this
guilt-free brown bananas.
It's a guilt-free brown bananas. Yes.
Okay.
So some places will slice them for you.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I just, grabbed this at Wegmans.
Okay.
But also at Aldi, they have sliced bananas with sliced strawberries.
Nice.
And I like just having a big thing of that in the freezer.
Okay.
So that whenever I want this, if I didn't freeze my bananas, forgot to do it, then I can just throw this together. It's already frozen for me.
And I know from talking to you, this is really one of your go-tos.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's not kidding.
No, definitely. If I'm like, I don't know what I want to eat for dinner, I'm going to have a giant bowl of ice cream.
Guilt-free. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, gonna just kind of pour. My chopper is a little tiny one, so I'm not going to overflow it too much. So I got the bananas, which is going to give it its starchiness and sweetness. Mm-hmm. And then the strawberries is going to give it its other little, sweet taste that I like very much. And you can mix in a bunch of different things at this point.
Of course.
If you're at this stage, before you blend, you can put in something like chocolate. No. And turn it into chocolate strawberry ice cream.
How good would that be?
Like from Halo Pup.
Yes.
Yes. Chocolate, you could put in coconut, you could put in vanilla, almonds, mint.
Wow, you've got everything
I found everything I thought I could put into ice cream.
Yes.
Coconut. Mint is another good one too if you have fresh mint.
Right.
Especially, if you find it in the in the store in a little package.
Yes.
Not the big thing.
Right.
Because that goes bad so quick. But so for this one, I'm just going to put in the strawberries, bananas. I'm going to use the same milk that I used for my artichoke dip. But of course, any milk is fine. Make it more nutritious and delicious, making sure that it's unsweetened. A variety, when it's soy or almond, always check that food label because they'll say plain on the front.
They do.
And on the plain ones, there's 7 grams of sugar.
Oh, no.
Not that 7 grams is at the end of the world, but,
but
try not to have, I just didn't want that.
Right.
Didn't want the extra sugar. So in this recipe, we're going to put the milk in increments. So I'm just going to put in a little bit for starters.
Any idea how, like, is it a half a cup we're going for?
Starting off with about 2 tablespoons
Okay.
to a quarter of a cup.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we're going to add in like 2 tablespoons every time we think we might need it.
Okay.
But what you want to do is do it as little as possible because we want all the fruit to, we don't want it to be a smoothie.
Okay.
Although
so
smoothies are good.
They are good,
That could
but
be
we're going
dessert.
for ice cream.
We're going for ice cream. So I have my strawberries, my bananas, my little chopper. So when I'm going to get a paper towel to avoid a situation I learned about earlier. So when you do make the nice cream at home and you have a little food chopper like this,
Right.
You start slow.
Okay.
So I'm not going to hit the buzz, like let it go all crazy. I'm going to pulse it.
Okay.
Because if I didn't, all of the milk will squirt all over the place.
Okay, we don't want that.
No, it's really a big mess. So you go through the couple of times. It's starting to churn the ice cream.
Yes, I see that.
And so you see that it's starting to come together.
I was kind of a little doubtful, to tell you the truth, but I'm sorry.
Wait. We're going to go full speed now.
Okay.
All right, that was a good one. You don't want to burn out your machine, so if you hear it saying like, "Hey, stop," just
I need a
give
break.
it some time.
I can't believe the consistency. That was the part I was doubting. I thought it was going to be more runny. I'm happy to see it, and it looks great.
It's like soft serve ice cream.
Yes.
Yeah. So with my favorite little ice cream scooper, I was gonna put it in there, but that's a
Wow.
tiny little scoop.
Yes, we would want more than that.
We
don't
would
you
want
think?
more than that. So.
And then we
yeah.
can load up some of those nuts and whatever else you want,
Exactly,
right?
yes.
That's
So I've got-
awesome.
This is bananas.
I can't
It's
believe how
just
simple
bananas.
it was. It's so simple.
It's so simple. It's bananas.
And
I guess-
nutritious.
Yeah. So if I'm really like not feeling a big meal and I just want something kind of sweet and light, especially before going to bed, then something like this might be a great alternative.
I like that. And
Yeah.
it gets your fruit in. It's a great
Yes.
way to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because sometimes it definitely forget to get the fruit in during the day.
Absolutely.
So as per protocol, you have to try it.
You don't have to twist my arm on this
Okay.
one.
I'm gonna get some spoons. Okay.
So
you go.
excited. Okay.
All right, and then when we taste it, we can, see what we might want to do different next time, but it's good to have a baseline. Yummy.
It is yummy.
And it's all, what I like about this is that it already sliced and frozen. So although I love to freeze my bananas, I always suggest for people to do it all the time, but nobody's perfect. But
And we like some quick,
Yeah.
ways to get it done. So
Right.
that's great. This is delicious. It would top off the end of your day.
Yeah.
I really do like it.
yeah, like having a daiquiri at the end of the day.
Kind of. We
But,
could do that too.
I know the strawberry kind of got me on that place. So yeah, I'm gonna scoop out the rest of this ice
Okay.
cream, and then if you want, you can put it in a container and save it for later. So, for example,
Did I just hear the timer go off? No.
No.
Okay. Thought I did.
I have some plain banana that I made earlier today,
Oh, wow.
and I put it in this little kind of ice cream
Absolutely.
soup cup,
Exactly.
and so we can see what the difference is in consistency. So here's our strawberry.
What did you think of the just banana?
I love it.
Okay,
To
okay.
me, it's like, I guess, the vanilla. But if you put vanilla extract in it, that would be good too.
Oh, totally.
I missed out on
I
that
would like
opportunity.
that.
Yeah. If it was more mushy, I would do it. So, just got a nice scoop.
Nice. So you've got your little variety going.
Yeah. Oh, and you could do chocolate, vanilla, strawberry.
That would be delicious. And again, all these extra little things that add some value too, at least the nuts and the...
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's when I first started working as a dietitian, that was always almost always often the suggestion that we'd give to patients when they wanted to, still eat ice cream, but not like totally mess up their blood sugar.
Right.
So, the fiber and the protein that's on like peanuts and walnuts, although the sugar in the ice cream is like, woo, it brings, it goes right into your bloodstream.
Spike, right?
Yeah. Some of the fiber and some of the protein is able to say, well, buddy,
Wow.
don't go up too fast. So
Nice.
you find that there's less of a spike when you add something like nuts to your ice cream or even to your fruit.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Learn something every time I work with you. I love it.
I have extra bananas and I can make, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it in another one of these cups.
Okay.
Because I can make chocolate.
Oh, yes.
These cups are really handy.
So would you like me to do that while you're doing something?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we're going to scoop up that strawberry.
Got it. And do we have our samples of our appetizer, or you're still sticking with this?
Oh, appetizer's almost done.
Okay,
almost
good.
done. Almost
Okay.
done with the appetizer. So we could have dessert first.
Yes,
Dessert's-
always. Who cares? As long as you get dessert.
Yes. Something I learned to do one time doing this cooking demonstration in the past was that chocolate syrup, right?
Yes.
We have a sundae. We want it to be kind of complete. But when you look at the ingredients of chocolate syrup,
yeah.
it's just like corn syrup and
Yeah.
processed. And it has a funny taste. It actually doesn't taste very good.
Right.
It doesn't taste like chocolate. So I found that this worked pretty well. Is just some maple syrup. And cocoa powder.
Oh, how could that be bad, right?
No, not bad. I mean, there's still sugar in maple syrup, so that doesn't mean it's a, nutritious,
Right.
sauce to put on top. But it's, to me, and for anybody who's trying to eat more like plant-based to the earth, this is a better example of that.
That's great.
Yeah. So I was hoping that this would work out. Yeah. No, this is what I was gonna do.
Okay.
I was ready to do
You're
this.
like a human blender
That's
over there.
Yeah, I didn't give you this job today.
Thank you. Because you knew I couldn't do it.
All right. I'm going to have to get a different utensil because no one's perfect.
That's okay. We're good.
Got to use a fork.
Okay.
Now we know. When you use it, don't try to go with the thing with the
And it's adding some substance to that.
Right. It looks like almost like mousse right now.
Right.
Oh, and it's getting darker the more the cocoa is mixing in with the
And what are you going to put that on?
ice cream.
Which one?
All of it.
All of it. Oh my gosh, she's really going for it today.
I said I like it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
put like a little bit more. I've done this kind of cooking demo with some kids before, and we had all the flavors out and put it in the
Nice.
refrigerator, and they loved it,
Right.
And they weren't like, ew, this is bananas.
Right.
They were like, yum, it's bananas.
Yeah, that's great.
Chocolate
So
syrup.
always finding the way to eat a little healthier, right?
Just a little bit,
That doesn't look healthy, but I'm telling you, I
Right?
watched her ingredients.
You
It was
saw
definitely
you saw
healthy.
it happen.
I
You saw
did.
it happen.
That's
This is
awesome.
fruit and some maple syrup and
Right.
cocoa powder, which is an antioxidant.
Oh, well, there you go. That's a good reason to have that around.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. So
All right.
That's
so
our
we've done all
beautiful-
our cooking, right?
yeah, if you think this finishing this guy off will make it pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Got some coconut.
All of it. Is it still healthy after you add all of this?
It gets a little.
It's a little dicey.
It gets dicey, yes. So I have nuts, I have maple syrup, and some coconut. But if I were to keep going,
Yes.
that could definitely add up. Like they have sweetened and they have unsweetened coconut flakes.
Okay.
So you want to find the unsweetened kind.
That makes sense.
and because then you get more of the coconut flavor,
Right.
and less like the fake macaroon taste that's in most shredded coconut. So.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yes. When I was a kid, my mom would always take us out to get ice cream sundaes, at Denny's
Did you get bananas in them?
Yes. Oh, always hot fudge bananas.
That's what I would get.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was the one.
Yeah, Denny's on, the one that's on Route 130. It's like it's never gone anywhere.
I remember.
Yeah.
It's still there, right?
Still there.
It's probably the last one in the United States.
I'm sure. Which is not a terrible thing. They could make their menu a little healthier.
I'm going to grab this just to help us keep moving, right?
Yeah. I just want to do more ice cream.
I can tell. Well, this is bubbling. It looks really good. Where do you want this?
Let's take I'm going to take a towel and put it down on.
I got it right here. It's right under my hand. There we go.
No, I was looking for the other towel so that we could make it extra fluffy.
Okay. Looks delicious.
Yeah.
And it really did firm up a little bit.
Yes. So you still have some of that kind of like when you dip into it, you're gonna still have some of that that feeling. So, yeah. And I'm gonna turn off the alarm because it's a song I don't want to hear anymore.
Beautiful.
Yes. And you wouldn't look at this and say, "Wow, that's beans."
No, I would definitely not say that.
Mm-mm.
So we would start our meal, right? With this, and we have the in-between, right? The entrees that we've done.
Right. We have, this spinach dip for the appetizer.
Yeah.
And then for entree, I might do the puttanesca or I might do the tempeh. Yeah. And then for dessert, have this banana and ice cream.
That's great.
And it was 100% plant-based meal with foods that are familiar.
You know? Yes,
not being so
absolutely.
crazy.
Not crazy stuff.
Yeah, not crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So, of course, we have to try it now.
I'm all in.
The rules. I rinsed off my scooper because I like to use that for a lot of things.
Okay.
So we'll see the nice little skin on the outside.
Absolutely.
Dip into that.
Looks hot.
Yes. All right. So our vegetables of choice, I made sure to get an orange pepper for you.
Thank you. You're the best.
Just to call out the first one of these.
I love working with you.
I got some yellow orange pepper, broccoli. I like it with the broccoli and cauliflower, the cruciferous taste. I really do like a lot.
You know I'm going to go for the orange pepper.
Yeah, I cut it specially for you.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
So it's hot.
It does look hot.
Careful.
See steam coming off.
It's spinach dip.
It's totally spinach dip, and it's delicious. Thank you so much for doing that.
Of course.
This is
my pleasure.
Great. So no double dipping, so I can't put the other half in, but that's okay.
We're gonna have it later.
So this brings our series to an end, my friend.
Yes, and a sweet ending.
It is a sweet ending, and thank you so much for doing this with me. Thank you for tuning in, and if you're interested in becoming a Better Health member, please call 609-584-5900. We'd love to see you here at the RWJ Fitness and Wellness Center. Thank you for joining us today, and you make it a great day.